Hello. Thank you for interviewing with us today, Rich. Now, the question of the day is, what is the difference between love and lust?
I think lust is love that never dies
Why do you say that?
because lust is always in your heart. And when your heart is true for a long period of time, it's love.
But if lust is in your heart, then shouldn't that be love?
It may be love, but it takes time to
How can you verify that assumption,
come true. How can I verify that assumption?
that lust is in your heart?
Because I've lived it, but it's too personal to tell.
In your own words, what is the difference between lust and love?
Well, some would say that without love, there could be no lust, and without lust, there could be no love.
And why do you say that?
Just drawing from life experiences, what I thought was love was lust, and vice versa.
Can you give me an example of lust?
Lust, that would be like, I would venture to say sexual wants or thoughts.
Can you give me an example of love?
Romance, when lust is gone and love is still there.
You knew time stopped at that moment.
Without
You were
lust,
in love.
could there be love?
I believe they're hand in hand.
So without love, there couldn't be lust.
And when you say lust, you could also say passion.
Or temptation. I believe
Well,
passion might be love.
Temptation is more along the lines of religion. Now you're in a whole nother ballpark.
So give me an example of lust.
Lust is passion. Passion for anything. Doesn't even have to be a woman.
I think the difference between lust and love is when you lust after somebody, it's not permanent. It's just a feeling that you get, and quite frankly, the urge will pass, and you don't necessarily love that person. But when you love somebody, it's everlasting and unconditional, and no matter who they are, or what they've done, or what they do, you still love them. I think you see the person as a whole.
What is the difference between love and lust?
In your heart. An example?
How would you know that it's in your heart? What would be an example of it?
Well, it's like
Identifying
it's like a summer rose.
In,
When you look at it, you know it's there.
but don't you feel love?
Of course you do.
So when you feel it, you know
Feel
it's there.
and you it's around you all the time.
What's another way
Love's
to look
in the air
at
right now.
What's another way?
I think religion condemns it because lust really doesn't bring you anything but a desire. And I think once you have that desire and once you fall to that temptation, you're going to lead a very unholy and life away from God. And I think it's important for us to have some kind of self-respect and some kind of control over those emotions. And I think if we don't, that's when we go wrong. And that's when our minds get polluted with all bad thoughts. And I don't think that the religion wants us to be falling to temptation. And I think they want us to be stronger than the temptations that are in our head. And I think that love conquers all. When lust is something that we could fight, but I think when you're in love, it's hard to explain, but it's a different feeling.
I think we all want to be loved in the end.
But don't we all thrive to go after that lust, that passion, that good feeling?
Some of us do, some of us don't. But don't forget, the young is seduced by the old. So it all depends on where you are in life.
I think you could fall in love without having any kind of lust. I think a lot of people settle, and not necessarily in a bad way. I think they'll settle in a good way, in that they'll look for things other than physical attraction in somebody. They'll look for stability. They'll look for a nice person. And I think that is a big difference between lust and love. What do you mean more?
I would say love. I think everybody needs love. People want lust, but they need love.
But without lust, could you have ever loved?
Personally, yes, I could have.
Loved by the universe, or loved by the sun.
If you
The
are,
sun
then why is
loves
there
me
so
right
much
now.
hate in the world?
Why is there so much hate in the world?
Why are we born?
I think because
It's judgmental
I think somewhere along the way,
criticism.
I think
and
somewhere
hate.
along the way the train went off the tracks, and I think that this society has gone too far to the right, or too far to the left, or too far out of the universe. There's a word called greed, and I believe that greed has taken over everyone's thoughts and prayers and minds.
Why do you think lust is so condemned in this society?
I believe that lust is so condemned in society because of the Catholic Church. I believe that the Catholic Church has been reigning over people's lives for so long.
But do
And
you
not only
feel that the
but
Catholic Church?
religious beliefs.
So you feel religious beliefs
suppress.
aren't trying to direct you in the right way, in the right path?
I believe that they are not. I believe that they are ruled by money and greed. And I believe that the greed part is that they want you to believe what they want you to believe. So in some way, you're suppressing your feelings of lust. And I think your feelings of lust, your endearment for love is natural. And I believe everything that happens to you is natural, a natural order in life and the universe. And I believe that religion confuses you. I believe that society confuses you.
But do you believe that lust leads to unfaithfulness?
I do not believe that. I believe that if you have lust that will not die, that is.
Why does everybody want love?
Everybody wants love because it's a human need, a human trait that is just embedded, I think, in humans. Separates us from the animal kingdom.
What separates us? Don't animals fall in love?
No, they fall in love with the attention that they get, but maybe, it's a different, but we bring it to another level. When we love, it's like an aphrodisiac. It makes us feel good.
What's the difference of being in love and loving?
The difference between being in love and loving? I don't know. Is there a difference? I don't see any.
Well, you love your child, right? But you're not in love with them.
We're talking about human beings unrelated in this whole interview. I didn't think that you were talking about related people.
Well, I'm talking about...
Of course, there's love and love,
No, but I'm talking about to a woman that you could be married to. You could love her just like you would love your child or you would love your brother, but you're not necessarily in love with her.
I think that's a term that's just become the new millennium. I mean, in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, you started to see that term more used as it became more involved with the Hollywood world,
Is there a different feeling between love and lust?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Can you explain those feelings?
Well, you would cry and be sad if you lost someone that you loved. If you lost someone that you lusted after, you probably would just be sad. Start a new campaign to search for someone to lust after. It just becomes a succession of people.
You believe?
I've definitely been in love, and I've definitely been in lust. And I gotta say, lust hurts, because when you think lust is love, it's not. And then you end up getting hurt and getting left, and you realize that you mistaken lust for love, and it's just not a good way to be. So now I really take my time in getting to know somebody, and I make sure that person is somebody that could turn to love, or I like more than just physical attraction. Because when it's all said and done, the physical attraction doesn't stay. People grow old, and you really need love to make it last. To mention the shirt I'm wearing, I love life, and I definitely don't lust it, because life is something that's so important, and temptation is nothing compared to the eyes of God, and God gave us life.